Cancer, and welcome to Lex Vox. I'm Alexa Avalon, and thank you for joining me here today for your zodiac reading. Okay, we will, before we get into all this, I'll just say if you find that these messages, that they resonate with you, please like, share, and subscribe, okay? And maybe pass along the reading to another Cancer you know, or somebody with a moon Cancer sign, or a rising sign in Cancer, whatever, okay? If you think that somebody can get something good out of this, this video, this message, this reading, please pass it along, okay? So today, what we have here, we're trying out different spreads as usual. So what I've done today is selected two spirit animal oracle cards representing the major players in your story right now. Cancer, oh my goodness, I almost called you Capricorn. So we have those major players to start off with, and usually I would have already intuitively selected a bit of a story spread as well to help flush out these energies and explain them better. But today what we're going to do is actually flip them, and I'll intuitively select cards for each of the energies in the dynamic, okay? All right, so let's get going. I knew this is going to come up. Interesting. So we have Scarabito, spirit. Okay. And this says magic works through you. Okay. Before we flip that one, I'm just going to take a moment here. Okay. And dog spirit. Beautiful, beautiful cards. All right, so I actually want to say that these are both the energy of the Cancer. Because what I'm getting off this card right off the bat is the energy of shaking, literally working out the bugs, shaking off the fleas, if you will, working out the bugs from the inside out, okay? I get a Cancer who's working on releasing fears that they've had, that have been holding them back, I want to say, of course. Fears that are sort of either based on false beliefs or fears that are unwarranted, okay? They won't come unrealistic, thank you. Unrealistic fears, okay? And through releasing of the unrealistic fears, they're gaining a sense of strength, which is ultimately lending itself to this heart healing, okay? What I was getting in the pre-read, what I was picking up was heart healing for Cancer, okay? That's not a huge surprise. We are coming, I believe we're still in the astrological sign of Cancer at this time, okay? But today is actually the day, the full moon in Capricorn, and Capricorn is the opposite sign, okay, the counterpart of Cancer in the in astrology, okay, and where the Capricorn can be the Capricorn energy. I'm getting that as this releasing, okay, of hierarchical beliefs, okay? Beliefs about hierarchies that are being released, all right? And that letting go of these beliefs that haven't ever really resonated with the Cancer is I keep getting the phrase softening their sense of power. I'm not even 100% sure what that means, but I think what I mean by that is it is releasing from this is ultimately raising the confidence levels of the Cancer, and that in return is yeah, okay, so so that in return is creating this heart healing for the Cancer, okay? But I want to say that that the sense of power for the Cancer is very much tempered. It's very much laced with this feeling of forgiveness, of unconditional love, of motherly energy, okay? So again, in that way, I'm very much seeing this as the Cancer learning to, oh yeah, totally, sorry, but oh god, my brain is getting ahead of my mouth here, okay? So the Cancer learning to mother themselves the way that Cancers are so good at being able to nurture and mother those around them, okay? So it's about turning that. So the duality of Cancer is this hard shell and soft sort of insides, okay? And they can be both, very much so, you know, they can very much nurture their loved ones, but sometimes and when a loved one is hurt, they can is, you know, hard done by somebody, they are very much protectors of that, and that in that way they embody that hard and soft dichotomy, okay? And what is happening right now is the Cancer is learning that in order to see love and nurturing and abundance in their physical environment, okay, they are first needing to make an internal change, and that will spread from their internal pillar, from their column, their foundation. Once that is loved and cared for and strong, that energy will grow out and out and out and multiply, you know, like a cell, you know, like when a sperm inseminates an egg, and the cell growth, it just divides and divides and divides, and just until it's expansive and enormous and all encompassing, all surrounding, okay? And so basically it's an inner transformation that needs to take place so that their outer world can transform, okay? And this is what this full moon is bringing about, okay? And I'm getting that the Cancer is resisting the call that they're getting. The Cancer is resisting their call to look after themselves, to nurture and love themselves, to be loyal to themselves, okay? So this is the dog spirit, and the phrase on there is be loyal to what you love, okay? In the upright, for me, it's all about, you know, being in that energy and just sort of riding the wave. In reverse, you're kind of resisting what needs to be done, okay? Resisting the loyalty that you're being asked to have yourself. And loyalty can be likened to unconditional love and respect, okay? So when we have unconditional love for people, we love them even though, we love them even if, you know, we just love them. There's no qualification to it, okay? And so this mothering energy, this Cancerian energy that you're trying to embody right now, or you're being asked to embody right now, is you're sort of blocking it for yourself, okay? I personally want to recommend that, you know, you tune into the things outside yourself that you are loyal to, the things outside of yourself that you have the utmost unconditional love for, okay? Tune into that feeling that you get inside of yourself when thinking about this person, thing, or energy that you love, okay? And imagine that it is you, okay? And imagine what it would feel like for you to fully love and accept yourself, okay? Be loyal to yourself, all right? And this is a big issue with Cancer, is that, you know, you can be very much protective and defensive of those you love when they're hard done by or hurt. But when it comes to protecting yourself, the lines are a little blurred and it's a little bit more difficult. So I believe that this period of time is, especially since we're in the period of Cancer, is a major point where Cancer is probably not feeling like they're moving anywhere, but it's because of this resistance to the lesson that you're supposed to be learning at this time, okay? Now, that was far more than I intended to get, and it ended up being that both these cards related to the Cancer. So I'm just going to get a few cards here. All right, that's our timer. Forgive that. Okay, we're going to quickly select. Four cards telling the story of what's going on with Cancer here. Okay, can we get 4 cards for the story of what's going on with Cancer? Okay. That's it there. Okay. Alright. 3 more cards. Another card explaining the story. What's going on with Cancer at this time. That one. Two more. Another card explaining the story of what's going on with Cancer at this time. Okay, and one more. Story of what is going on with Cancer please. No, okay, it's happening. All right. Okay. Just give me a moment here. All right, so bottom of the deck energies, we have Horse Spirit, Freedom is Yours. This is about releasing from control, okay? And expectations, okay? How things should go. So it's a bit about sometimes we don't look after ourselves or show ourselves the appropriate love because we expect things to go a certain way. We expect that we should be able to handle this, that, and that. We expect that we expect ourselves to be perfect, and the reality is that we're not, and we can't always be, and we shouldn't have to always be, okay? So it's a bit about releasing from this control, okay, in favor of love, okay? So we have the King of Wands in reverse in the bottom of the deck energy here, signifying to me a bit of excess ego. That's the King of Wands can kind of be a little bit in the reverse form, can be a bit of fiery ego, okay, a little bit of a hothead, we'll say, stubborn, and certain of their power, of their authority in an area, even if it isn't the case. I want to say that here in the sense that, like, confidence, ego surrounding your thinking, your ability, thinking you should be able to do something, you ought to be able to do something when you can't, or that, like, maybe you have something to go to and you just aren't up to it, whatever the case is, okay? I'm seeing just like a little bit of a blind ego that is being replaced by the Cancer. Literally, there's the Cancer sign there. There you are, the crab. This is the Cancer. There's partial lunar eclipse. This is the Cancer mastering their energies and learning to act from a place of unconditional love, not just for others, but for themselves as well, of course. Okay, so we're gonna flip our cards here. Wow. All right, so we got a ton of water here in this. We also have a couple major arcana suggesting that this is a major phase going on. It's a pivot point for the Cancer, okay? So we have the World card, all right? And in this version, this deck, we see Saturn here pictured. The World is the final major arcana card, and it denotes the endings of big cycles, long-term cycles, short cycles as well, but long-term cycles and the beginning of new phases as well, okay? I also want to say that this denotes the Capricorn full moon that we are in today, okay? The ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. And this is why Capricorn relates to karma, status, and hierarchies, okay? And in the tarot, it relates to the devil, which is the devil card, which is about again, that Capricornian energy, but can be codependency, which is an issue that Cancer can sometimes have, in the sense that you're a water sign, and the edges for you between you and another, your feelings and the feelings of another, of people close to you, there's a sense of fluid boundaries for a lot of you, and part of your life journey is to understand and learn how to know when you're feeling your own feelings or you're taking on the feelings of someone else, okay? And we start this tarot reading with the Queen of Cups, okay? And she, like just like her counterpart here, the King of Cups, is somebody who is a master in understanding emotions, okay? They understand absolutely the realm, okay? Spirituality as well, and the subconscious, okay? But they are about receptivity, so they're about understanding, about knowledge coming to them, as opposed to the King, who is about taking that knowledge that has come and about putting it into action, okay? That's why you see a lot more movement in this King card as well, okay? So here we have also the High Priestess, which is it denotes a level of, it's related to the moon, which is again this feminine energy, and it was something I was getting in the pre-read, that there was a heart healing that was related to a feminine issue, and very much so this is what we're getting today, okay? We've got Cancer all over the reading, and again we have the moon here, speaking of the influences of today's full moon in Capricorn, okay, bringing about this, the end of this cycle, okay, of illusion, okay? So I want to say the moon relates to feminine energies, and just like masculine energies, there is a shadow and a light side to each, okay? And the moon, while the moon illuminates, right, the moon also causes illusion. It can be difficult to see by the light of the moon, okay? We're never quite sure that what we're looking at is really what it is in this energy, okay? And in that way, I want to say that firstly, that Cancer, you might be feeling like this is a period of stagnation, that not a lot's going on. You might be feeling like your physical world isn't changing the way you want it to. And I want to say that this is partially an illusion, okay? This is a period when you're supposed to feel like that, so that you're forced to make changes that will ultimately get that ball rolling when we're through this period, okay? Additionally, I want to say the High Priestess here is about the Cancer really understanding and learning how to use their intuition, okay? Because the moon, the High Priestess, all relate to the realm of water and intuition, okay? And the High Priestess really does denote somebody who is becoming a master in that realm. Yes. Master in that realm, okay? And that's, again, part of this, you know, it's an ending to this sort of a releasing of that sort of, no, I have to be right, I have to be perfect, I have to, because I am, you know, I can be, so I ought to be. Energy that is being released. It's the end of that cycle with this Capricorn full moon. That's what's being released. That's what I was talking about with this the Scarab Beetle card, and that fears, old beliefs are being released in order to strengthen and heal, okay? So like I said, this is the end of this sort of egoic energy, an ego death in a way, and the beginning of a period of growth in the realm of intuition and sort of understanding a spiritual realm there, maybe even just simply the subconscious. So for some of you Cancers, it will be that this is the beginning of a period of you really tapping into your understanding of your own subconscious, okay? Or even just your own emotional life. We also have the Two of Cups here, which relates to Ursa Major, which is a constellation, and Ursa is the bear here. I also want to say that this has to do with the this period that I was just talking about, how the Cancer might be feeling like this is they're expecting again this card of expectations. Same with the horse energy here. Expectation that their physical world should be changing around them, okay? And the energy of the bear, the big brown bear, is that of hibernation, of taking time out to consolidate, to tap in, all right? To tap into that intuition, the subconscious spiritual realm, your emotions, okay? To so that when this time comes for the birth, really, of this Cancer, and by that I mean maybe the birth of the love that you really have for yourself, okay? Once you're able to really be loyal to that which you love, and be sure that that which you love includes yourself, that's when the Cancer is really going to come into their energy, come into their mastery of their wateriness, okay? In the tarot, the Two of Cups typically has to do with an important partnership, okay? And so there might be somebody coming into your life at this time who is igniting this I'm going to say it again, this birth, this gestation period. But again, it could also be an opportunity that's coming in, okay? But I want to say that focusing mentally on that ego, that fire, that sense of control, that you ought to be able to control the outcome of something, that holding that mentality in your mind space and thinking from that place is only going to serve to separate you more from your essential energy of this water, your essential energy of being a sign that is related to the realm of emotions, intuition, spirituality, okay? It's essentially the energy that you have been in of trying to control outcomes, okay? It's at odds with who you are, okay? Water, the realm of water is all about, like I said, spirituality, subconscious, emotions. It's all stuff that we can't physically see. It's all stuff that's sort of behind the veil, all right? And in that way, its essential energy is that of something that is elusive, It's something that is not, that you can't pin down. And that's something that you can't fully direct, okay? You can direct water, you know, to a certain degree, but when it comes down to it, water will flow the way that it has to flow, okay? And you can't change that, all right? So constantly trying to enforce structure, and there's that Capricorn energy of structure, earth, physical, hierarchical structure onto your world, your internal world and your external world, is not serving to help you, okay? But you can flip that on its head, okay? And choose to speak internally and externally from this more watery realm, okay? This realm of emotions and intuition, of spirituality. Even if you aren't seeing from the place, even if you're not seeing from that spiritual, watery place, Cancerian place yet, you're being guided to speak to yourself and others in that energy, okay? So this will help you move through this gestational period, okay? I'm actually seeing this now very much as and again, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor. I'm pretty sure that that's the Capricornian sign and then Cancer sign there. So this is an important day, important time, a major pivot point in your life, Cancer, okay? And especially today with the full moon, partial solar eclipse or partial lunar eclipse in your counterpart. And you can view this card as a counterpart, okay? The Two of Cups. Cups are your suit, two is a dichotomy. And so this is what's the universe, this is what God, this is what Spirit is bringing about for you, and understanding, first for you to understand this realm of water, and then for you to act from that place, okay? But in order to get you to a place where you are the dog spirit upright, where you are loyal to that which you love, and that includes yourself, in order to get you to that energy, you first have to, the bad stuff, essentially, the stuff that doesn't fit in with this new energy, needs to come to the surface, okay? Like fat rising to the top that you skim off, okay? The shadow side of the Capricorn, that is energy that's inside of you, okay, that you're taking on. And I want to say it relates to your way of being that is no longer for you. And for a lot of you, it's that ego, and it's that your ego has kind of tricked you into thinking that you should have control over more than you have control over. Nobody has control over everything, least of all when it comes to spirit, okay? But anyway, the fat is rising to the surface. It's going to be skimmed away. All the impurities are being brought to the surface, and that means that you're going through a period of having all of this all of the fat that's risen to the top in your experience, okay? So in order for this stuff to be released, it's got to come to your consciousness, right? It's got to be something you're actually aware of. How does that happen? Through something in your environment triggering this hothead energy, this ego energy, this trying to control too much energy, okay? And for a lot of people, that can be difficult because all you see is what needs to be fixed. And what most people don't know is that it's just a matter of time before you it's just a matter of time before you come out the other side, that underneath this the crap that's come to the top underneath this fear energy is strength and heart healing, okay? Like I said, it's a period of gestation, a period of hibernation, all right? And you've been preparing for it this whole spring, okay? But now is crunch time. It's summertime, and it's time for you to really pay attention to the words that you're using, okay? Like, I was just thinking, this was really funny. You've prepared, all right? This is something you've been preparing for all spring, all right? And now it's summer, and it's time for this to happen, all right? You've been squirreling away little nuggets of information and nuggets of information about who you really are, and also nuggets of information being like, oh, I recognize that that's not my belief, weird, and then you kind of let it go for a bit. Point is, you've spent the spring collecting nuts, essentially collecting these bits of information, or even just the last 6 months, let's say from the Capricorn, from the Cancer new moon in January, I believe. January or December? January. During this 6-month period, you have been preparing for this period of taking time out, okay, in order to alchemize, to change the energy that you have been embodying, okay? And the guidance is to do your best to not resist the transformation, okay? Because it is happening. This is what I kept saying, was that a rebirth was happening. Even though there's not necessarily any cards here suggesting rebirth, a full-on rebirth, and we have the bat spirit, and a rebirth is assured, okay? All right, we're going to do one last thing here. I have a... Is there a 9 on this? No, okay. I have a 20-sided die here, and I'm going to roll her. Actually, yeah, I'm going to roll it. And give you a special number, see if it relates to the reading here. So can we get a special number of the week for Cancer, please, God, thank you. Okay, and we have 13. Excuse me, my goodness. So 13 is a very special esoteric number. There are theories that that God started as one entity of consciousness, and in order to experience, as opposed to being a ball of, not a ball, but you know what I mean, a center of pure potential, it's split into 12 separate entities and then returned into one again, okay? And that's where we get separation from God. We incarnate, and then we come back to God and ultimately die and literally come back to God. So 13 is that 12 and 1, okay? It denotes unity. It denotes a connection to all things. And I also want to say that it is representative of the number 4. In numerology, 3 plus 1 equals 4, which is all about foundations. And that was something that we were talking, I think we were talking about during this reading. If not, I was thinking about it just beforehand, was about creating a sturdy foundation, okay, from which to move forward for the Cancer. All right. All right, thank you so much for tuning in today, Cancer. I love you dearly. You can follow me on Instagram. I do cards of the day there. I'll have information for that in the description box. And again, like I said before, please like, share, or subscribe if you got anything out of this reading, or if you think anyone else you know might be able might resonate with these messages, okay? Okay. Thank you again, and blessings.